At Christmas, my mother-in-law proudly introduced a new woman to my husband. I smiled sweetly and said, "By the way, the house is in my name, not his." The entire room just froze. My name is Emily, and until 8 weeks ago, I thought I had the perfect marriage to Liam Turner. We'd been together for 7 years, married for 4, and I genuinely believed we were building something beautiful. I was so naive. The warning signs had been there for months, but I just chalked them up to work stress. Liam was a financial advisor at his dad's firm, Turner and Associates, while I ran my own successful marketing consultancy from our home office. The late nights, the secretive phone calls, the sudden obsession with his appearance, I should have connected the dots sooner. It wasn't until I accidentally saw a notification on his phone while he was in the shower that everything clicked. "See you tomorrow night. Can't wait to finally meet your family. P says you've told them we're just friends for now." The message was from someone named Lily. My blood ran cold when I realized P meant Helen, his mother. Helen Turner had never liked me. From the moment Liam brought me home, she made it clear I wasn't good enough for her precious son. She wanted him to marry Chelsea Morrison, a wealthy family friend. When Liam chose me, a middle-class girl who worked her way through college and built her own business, Helen never forgave either of us. But I never imagined she'd stoop to orchestrating an affair. Over the next 8 weeks, I became a detective in my own marriage. I hired a private investigator, Jason Lee, who confirmed my worst fears. Liam had been seeing Lily Harris for 3 months. She was a 25-year-old real estate agent new to town. And according to Jason, Helen introduced them at a charity gala I'd missed for work. The photos Jason showed me were devastating. Liam and Lily at restaurants, holding hands in the park where he proposed to me, kissing in the gym parking lot. But the most infuriating part was finding out Helen was actively encouraging it, even hosting dinner parties where Lily played the girlfriend role while I was supposedly away on fake business trips. As heartbroken as I was, I'm also incredibly practical. Instead of confronting Liam immediately, I started planning. My dad taught me chess at 7, and he always said, "Never make a move until you can see the whole board." It was time to study the board. First, I reviewed every legal document we had. When we got engaged, my lawyer insisted on a prenuptial agreement. Liam was offended, but I explained I needed to protect my business. That prenup was ironclad. What was mine stayed mine. More importantly, the house we lived in, the beautiful 4-bedroom colonial Helen always bragged about, was bought with my money and was solely in my name. Next, I documented everything. Every expense Liam charged to our joint account, every client dinner that was a date with Lily, every lie. I kept our joint accounts active but monitored every transaction, screenshotting everything. I created a spreadsheet that would make any accountant proud. Then I made strategic moves. I quietly opened personal accounts, redirected my income, and met with my divorce attorney, Sophia Diaz. I updated my will and insurance. I even changed the locks on my downtown office. But most importantly, I planned the perfect reveal. Helen always insisted on elaborate holidays. Thanksgiving was awkward, with Helen making pointed comments about couples growing apart. But Christmas was her crown jewel, a formal dinner for 30 people. When Helen called to confirm, her voice dripped with fake sweetness. "Oh, Emily, darling, I've invited a lovely young woman named Lily to join us. She's new in town and has no family nearby." I could hear the smugness. She thought she was cornering me, forcing me to watch my husband's mistress play house. She didn't realize she was giving me the perfect stage. The week before Christmas, I shopped for the perfect outfit. I chose a stunning red dress Liam loved, paired with diamond jewelry he'd given me. I wanted to look radiant when their world crashed down. I also called my brother Jack and best friend Olivia, asking them to be on standby for support. Christmas Day was crisp and clear. Liam was unusually attentive, bringing me coffee and complimenting me. I wondered if it was guilt or if Helen coached him. We arrived at the Turner estate at 6:30. The house was decorated like a magazine. Helen greeted us, wearing a navy dress that cost a fortune. "Emily, darling, you look lovely," she said, kissing my cheek with the warmth of a snake. "Come in." The living room was full of family and friends. But sitting right next to Helen was a young woman I'd never met, though I recognized her from the surveillance photos. Lily Harris. Tall, blonde, polished. She wore a cream dress that was expensive but modest. When she saw Liam, her face lit up in a way that would have been heartbreaking if I wasn't prepared. "Liam," Helen called, "come meet Lily. I've told her so much about you." I watched my husband's performance. He managed to look surprised and pleased, shaking Lily's hand a little too long. "Lily, what a pleasure. Mom said you were new in town." "Yes, from Boston," Lily replied warmly. "Your mother has been so welcoming." I stood there smiling, playing the devoted wife while my marriage disintegrated. I could feel the anticipation in the room. Helen's friends were watching me with excitement. Dinner was at 8 o'clock. Helen had seated Liam directly across from Lily, while I was shoved to the end of the table. The conversation was the usual boring stuff until Helen started steering it toward Lily, praising her career and family. "Lily graduated from Harvard Business School," Helen announced. "Just like Liam. So much in common." "How interesting," I said smoothly. "Business school must be great. I started my company straight from college, so I wonder what I missed." Lily smiled politely. "There's nothing wrong with learning through experience. Mom said you have a marketing firm." "Yes. We specialize in crisis management. It's amazing how fast a reputation can be destroyed and how hard it is to rebuild trust." Liam shifted uncomfortably. Helen pressed on. "Lily is a top real estate agent. Real estate is all about relationships," I observed. "Trust is everything. Clients need to know there's no hidden agenda." The conversation continued, with Helen boldly praising Lily. During the main course, I caught Lily stealing affectionate glances at Liam. She had no idea she was a pawn in Helen's game just as much as I was. "Lily, tell us about your family," Helen prompted. "Your father is in finance?" "Yes, a portfolio manager in Boston," Lily said. "He went to Harvard too." "Wonderful," Helen exclaimed. "Liam, weren't you expanding the firm's services? Someone with that background would be helpful." They had clearly rehearsed this. It was like a job interview disguised as small talk. "And you're from Connecticut?" George asked. "Yes, Greenwich," Lily said. "My family has a cottage on the water. Nothing fancy, just a place we've had for generations." I nearly choked. A cottage in Greenwich meant millions. Helen's eyes lit up. She'd found a daughter-in-law with money and pedigree. "Lovely," I said. Liam and I looked there, but preferred being closer to the city for work. A subtle reminder that we made decisions together. "Emily always chooses convenience over beauty," Helen said with a tight smile. "She's so dedicated to work." The dig hung in the air. "I believe loving your work makes you better at life," I replied. "It gives you energy for personal relationships." Lily actually agreed. "I love helping people find homes. You have to listen to what they aren't saying. Sometimes people think they want one thing but need something else." The irony was thick. Lily was describing exactly what Helen had done to her. "That takes skill," Rachel noted. "You have to be perceptive." "You do," Lily said. "Unfortunately, not everyone is honest. I've had clients lie about their budget, timeline, even relationship status." Liam went still. Lily had just described her own situation without knowing it. "Honesty is vital," I said, looking at Lily. "Once trust breaks, it's impossible to rebuild." "Absolutely," Lily agreed earnestly. The conversation was surreal. Lily kept making points that undermined her own position. Uncle Jack, a bit tipsy, spoke up. "Reminds me of a client years ago. Married guy, told everyone he was single. The girlfriend found out, the wife found out, and they both took pieces of him in the settlement." Helen snapped, "Let's discuss something pleasant." Jack laughed. "Oh, it ended pleasantly. The wife took everything, the girlfriend dodged a bullet. Justice served." I raised my glass. To justice being served. Liam looked like he wanted to disappear. "Dessert," Helen announced desperately. As she served her famous chocolate torte, Karen, a cousin's wife, whispered to me, "Are you okay? You seem tense." I smiled. I'm fine. Karen looked around, realizing what was happening. Oh my, she breathed. I've got it handled, I assured her. The tort was delicious. This is incredible, Lily said. Can I have the recipe? Oh, it's a family recipe, Helen said. I only share it with family. The implication was clear, once Lily married Liam, she'd get it. That's a shame, I said. I've been asking for 8 years. Guess I never made the inner circle. Rachel looked mortified. Emily, you know, Helen started. I cut her off. It's fine, Helen. Some things are for blood relatives and future daughters-in-law. Lily looked confused. It was then I realized the cruelty. Helen was using Lily to humiliate me, keeping her in the dark. Lily thought she was making friends, she didn't know she was a weapon. That sealed my resolve. When Helen made her announcement, I would make sure Lily knew the truth. It was during dessert that Helen finally made her move. This is Lily, Helen announced, raising her glass. She'll be perfect for Liam after the divorce. The words hung like poison. Everyone froze. But I was ready. I calmly buttered my roll. Then I looked up with a bright smile. How nice, I said to Lily. Did they mention that the house Liam and I live in is in my name, and there's a prenup protecting every single asset that matters? Liam went pale. Lily's smile faltered. I wasn't done. Lily, when did you and Liam start dating? Before or after the gala in June? Lily stammered, I don't know what you mean. I'm stating facts. You've been seeing my husband for 3 months. You've been to dinner at Marcello's 7 times. Helen has been hosting cozy dates while I was out of town. Helen gasped. Emily, I don't know what you think. I pulled out a manila folder. I have a private investigator. Want to see the photos, Helen? Or should I tell everyone how you told Lily that once Liam divorced me, she'd live in the big house? The silence was deafening. Liam finally spoke. Emily, please, not here. Why not? I asked. This is where your mother chose to humiliate me. It seems like the perfect place. I stood up. For those wondering, yes, Liam is having an affair. Yes, Helen planned it. Yes, they want my house. I turned to Lily. But Lily, I bought that house before we married. It stays mine. Lily whispered, Liam told me you were separated. Did he mention the joint account he uses for your dates? Or that my business trips were fake? Liam stood up. That's enough. Is it? Should I mention you told Lily we haven't been intimate in months? Because that's a lie. Lily looked at Liam with betrayal. You said you slept in the guest room. He lied, I said. Helen screeched, how dare you? Liam deserves better than someone who cares more about business. You're right, I agreed. He deserves someone honest. Someone who doesn't manipulate him. I looked around. I've already prepared divorce papers. They'll be filed tomorrow. Karen squeezed my hand. I'm so sorry, Emily. Thank you, I said. I tried to save this marriage. But I realized I didn't fail. I was loyal. I pulled out a stack of papers. These are copies of every transaction Liam made on our joint account for his dates. Restaurants, gifts, hotels. 12,000 in 3 months. According to our prenup, that's financial infidelity. George spoke up, embarrassed. Emily, maybe we should discuss this privately. There's nothing private left, George. Your wife made sure of that. I turned to Lily. I don't blame you entirely, Lily. Liam is charming, and Helen is convincing. But the man you love has been lying to both of us. Lily had tears in her eyes. I really thought you were separated. I know. But if he could lie to me for 5 months and let his mother run his life, what does that tell you about his character? The room was silent. Rachel said, I had no idea. I know, I said softly. I just needed you all to know the truth. I gathered my things. The divorce will be final in 2 months. Liam can stay in the house until then. I'll be at my office. Liam looked at me, desperate. Emily, can't we work this out? Work what out? The lies. The sabotage. No. I don't want to be married to a cheater or be part of a family that enjoys humiliation. I thanked the kind ones and walked out. Lily called after me. Emily, wait. I'm so sorry. I never would have. I believe you, I said. But ask yourself why Helen wanted to break us up, and why Liam let her. Helen stood up, furious, but George cut her off. Sit down. You've done enough. I thanked George and left. The next morning, Lily called. She'd ended it with Liam. She realized Helen was just using her to win. We talked for a while, strange, bonding with my husband's mistress. The divorce went smoothly. Liam didn't contest anything. I kept the house and my business. 2 months later, I ran into Rachel at the grocery store.